Okay, I can't believe that after all these years, the meme might be real. Belgium might disappear. It's sandwiched between powers, split in half linguistically, politically stitched together, like two puzzle pieces that don't quite fit. And then their new prime minister says that he wants to reunify with the Netherlands, creating a new Benelux country that is the beating heart of Europe.
Eerste minister een statement zijn dat ik niet meer kan maken, maar als politicus, als mens, ben ik wel overtuigd dat de scheiding van de Nederlanden in de 16e eeuw de grootste ramp is die ons ooit is overkomen.
So how does a country get to that point? And is Belgium actually going to disappear? Belgium today is split mainly into two regions, Flanders in the north, where people speak a version of Dutch, and Wallonia in the south, where they speak something close to French. Then there's Brussels in the middle. The capital landed in kind of the wrong province because it's more French-speaking. Everybody just doesn't talk about it. And if you ask people in Flanders what they mostly identify as, they're not going to say Belgian, they're going to say Flemish. Same thing in Wallonia, they feel culturally closer to France. This means that Belgium is less of a country and more of an arrangement. Most of Europe built nations and then divided them into regions. Belgium did it in reverse. It's regions with a common flag. But while the Prime Minister's statement might sound a little crazy, it's really not. Because Belgium used to be part of the Netherlands. After Napoleon was defeated in 1815, European leaders decided to glue the North and South provinces back together, creating the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. Belgium and the Dutch were one country, ruled by a Dutch king. This lasted for about 15 years. In 1830, Belgium broke away because the South felt ignored culturally, linguistically, and also they were Catholic, while the Dutch who ruled them were Protestant. And so Belgium was born. But unlike other countries born out of a revolution, it never really developed their own identity. It just kept two separate identities inside one border and said, yeah, this is probably fine. Spoiler alert, it's not. Fast forward to today, Belgium has had so many state reforms and decentralization that at this point the federal government is like a polite suggestion. The regions are basically autonomous. And then you have Bart de Wever, the prime minister, who also happens to be the leader of the biggest Flemish nationalist party. He has publicly said that separating from the Netherlands was the greatest disaster to ever befall Belgium. That if he could choose, he would rather be Dutch. So what happens if this isn't just rhetoric? Well, scenario number one is that he facilitates Flanders leaving Belgium and joining the Netherlands. Scenario two would be more interesting. Benelux becomes a country. Belgium rejoins the Dutch and maybe Luxembourg comes along with them. The third scenario is a little more boring and maybe the most likely, which is that Belgium just slowly becomes irrelevant and eventually disbands. It's less dramatic, but over the years, Belgium keeps transferring more and more powers to the regions. They already have education, healthcare, taxation. One day, there's not much for the Belgian government to do except organize paperwork. Flanders starts working more with the Netherlands, Wallonia with France, Brussels with the EU. At some point, somebody's going to ask the question, why does a Belgian government exist? Then a treaty gets signed and the flag comes down quietly. Now, before you start redrawing your maps, this isn't guaranteed, far from it. But the reality is that Belgium has a problem, and I guess it's up to their citizens to decide if they want to be Flemish, Wallonian, Dutch, French, or remain Belgium. Thanks for watching 5 Minutes to Explain. Follow along if you want quick explanations of topics like these.
En aansluiting bij Nederland, vindt u dat nog steeds eigenlijk? Vraag ik maar even tussen de regels door.
U moet helemaal juist zijn. Ik heb gepleit voor het niet losweken, maar voor het herenigen van de Nederlanden, meervoud. Dus dat gaat over de hele zuidelijke Nederlanden. Alleen is het misschien het enthousiasme in het zuiden om mee te doen iets minder groot dan in het noorden.
Ja, maar vindt u dat nog steeds?